Hi boys and girls, this is Miss C. Today we're going to read Charlie Needs a Cloak. Stories and Pictures by Tommy De Paola. This is Charlie's cloak. A cloak is like a coat. What do you do when you need a coat? When I need a coat, sometimes I borrow one from a friend. Sometimes I go to a store and get a new one. Let's read and find out what Charlie does when he needs a cloak. Charlie was a shepherd. He had a cozy house, a big hat, a crook, and a flock of fat sheep. But everyone said, Charlie needs a cloak. Story and Pictures by Tommy De Paola. Poor Charlie. He really needed a new cloak. You can see how torn and tattered Charlie's cloak is. Now I know why everyone said, poor Charlie. So, in the spring, Charlie sheared his sheep. Sheared means to cut. You can see Charlie with some scissors cutting the fur off of his sheep. He washed the wool and carded the wool to straighten it out. You can see the two brushes Charlie uses to card the wool. Carding is like brushing your hair. Then Charlie spun the wool into yarn. Charlie wanted a red cloak, so he picked some pokeweed berries during the late summer and boiled them over a fire. Then Charlie dyed the yarn red in the berry juice. After the yarn was dry, Charlie put the strands on the loom. Boys and girls, have you noticed how funny the sheep are in this story? They are fighting Charlie every step of the way. And every fall evening, he wove the yarn into cloth. Charlie put the cloth on the table and cut it into pieces. Look on the wall. Do you see his pattern? Charlie's using that pattern to cut the shapes he needs for his cloak. He pinned the pieces together and sewed them. And then, when winter came, Charlie had a beautiful new red cloak. Wow, Charlie worked really hard to make his cloak. In the spring, he sheared the sheep. In the summer, he dyed the wool. In the fall, he made the yarn, wove the yarn into cloth, cut the cloth into pieces, and sewed the pieces into his beautiful new red cloak, so that by winter time he was ready. Clever Charlie. Boys and girls, here is a glossary of some of the words we heard in this story. Some of them are new to us. Charlie used these scissors to shear his sheep. He clipped the wool from the sheep. Charlie used this tool to card, to untangle wool with a comb or brush. Charlie used this tool to spin, to twist wool into yarn. Charlie used this tool to weave, to twist thread into cloth. Charlie used these tools to sew, to fasten together with thread. And Charlie made his cloak, a coat without sleeves.